In this video, I'll be focusing on what solid shape, and I'll be talking about what prism and what pyramid. A solid shape is said to be a prism when it does not have pointed end. A typical example is what a cylinder. While a solid shape is regarded as what pyramid when it has what pointed end. Remember, the base is not necessarily, it must be what a circle. It could be a square, it could be a rectangle, it could be any other shape that is forming the base. But when once they are not meeting at a point, it's regarded as what prism. But when they begin to meet at a point, it is called what pyramid. Now, all these solid shapes has one thing in common. On any solid shape, you are required to find most of the time what they call what the curved surface area. That's CSA, the total surface area, and the volume of it, whether it's a prism or pyramid. These are majorly the main three things you're required to find, and that is what we're about to talk about, so that you will learn the general principle on how to get the formula, no matter the shape of the prism or pyramid, once you understand which category it falls in. Now, if I'm to wrap my head as a gift for you, that's I want to chop off my head and wrap it as a gift. If I wrap only the front together with the side, without wrapping the top and the base of the neck, that's the base here. Where I have wrapped totally is known as what? The curved surface area. But if I should wrap both the front and the back and the side together with the head, that's the top and the bottom of my head, I have wrapped what is called what? The total surface area. Then when I consider the quantity of maybe liquid oil that I can pour, that should, in case I cut my head open and I want to fill it up with what? Maybe oil. That's amount of material it can actually what contain. What I'm looking at what is the volume. Now, having said all those things about them, whether it's a prism or pyramid, it has what? The same principle. Now, let us consider the prism first. If you are to get the formula for the curved surface area of this cylinder, that's a prism. Why I'm calling it prism? Because you have to understand how it works so that no matter the shape given to you. So if you are to get the curved surface area, the total surface area volume of the cylinder, if here were to be the radius and here to be the height, the curved surface area of every prism is normally given as what? The perimeter of the base multiplied by the height. So the perimeter of a circle normally is given as what? 2 pi r. So the height of this cone is given as what? H. That's the height in question. So the curved surface area, on the other hand, will be given as what? 2 pi r times what? H. Remember, if it is not a square, you will not use 2 pi r. What's the perimeter? Perimeter talks about what distance around an object. So in case you have forgotten, if I should have a rectangle this way, let's say is what? 4, here is 4, here is 2, and 2. And I'm looking for the perimeter of this figure. It's just 4 plus 2 plus 4 plus 2. That's all. That will give me a total of what? 12. But when it's a circle, it has a particular formula, which is what? 2 pi r. So this is a formula for the curved surface area of what? A cylinder. Now, if I am to get the total surface area of this cylinder, the total surface area of every prism as well is given as what? Its curved surface area plus area of the bottom, let me name it A1, and area of the top, let me name it what? A2. So I'm going to have area of the bottom plus what? Area of the top. So if that is true, the total surface area of every prism will be given as what? 2 pi ROH plus area of the bottom is given as what? Pi r squared. Area of the top will be given as what? Another pi r squared. Now, be that as it may, I will simplify further. I have 2 pi ROH, this plus this, I have 2 pi r squared. Factorizing what is common, 2 is here, 2 is here, bring it out. Pi is here, bring it out. R is here, bring it out. So I have only what? H plus what? R. So that's the formula for what? The total surface area of this cylinder in question. And this idea applies to what? All prism. Now, for the volume of every prism, now looking at this one, it's normally given as what? The area of the base. That's area of the base, or the top as well. Area of the base times the what? The vertical height. So, if that is true, Area of the base is what? Pi r squared times what? The height. So I'm going to have what? Pi r squared h. Now, I will clean this cylinder and try to draw another word prism that has another shape where you're going to see how we're going to analyze it to get the formula for all the three of them. That's the curved surface area, total surface area, and the volume. Let us take a look at this one. Please manage my drawing the way it is. Okay, I know what to do. Let me just draw a cuboid. A cuboid is still an example of what? A prism. So, if you have it in this manner, now I will join this to this, this to this, and this to this, and this to this. Now, here is my height. Here is the what? Distance x. Here's x, here's x, here's x. Then the same thing that happens here. Here with x, I have the what? The x, and the x. Now, this is a cuboid. I can choose to turn it the other way around. Eventually, this is the height. That's the longest side. Example of a cuboid is all these your magnet knot they normally use as an example. So I am required to get the formula for the what? The curved surface area, the total surface area, and the volume. Like I said earlier, curved surface area of every prism is always given as what? The perimeter of the base multiplied by the height. So the perimeter here will be given as what? X plus x plus x plus x. 4 x's. You add all the distance around the base, then multiply them by the what? The height. So I have what? 4x times what? Height. I have what? 4xh. Good. Now, for the total surface area of every prism, it's always given as what? Its surface area plus the perimeter area of the area of the bottom plus what? Area of the what? The top. So let me write it as what? A1 plus what? A2. So the curved surface area is what? 4xh. Area of this place will be what? X times x. I have what? X squared. Area of the top as well, x times x. I have what? X squared. Now I have 4xh. What is common here is what? 2. Okay, add 2 of them together. I have 2x squared. What is common between here is what? 2. I have the x. I have 2h plus what? X. And that's my answer. Now for the volume as well, like I said, it's normally what? Area of the base times the what? The vertical height. So the volume will be given as what? Area of the base, which is what? X squared times the vertical height, which is what? Xh. So it does not matter the symbol. Maybe in your typical textbook, they are not using x. I intentionally use x to make it look different. So you need to understand that what? The curved surface area of every prism is normally what? The perimeter of the base times the what? The height. Total surface area, the curved surface area you got here, plus area of the top and that of the bottom. That's what I'm having here. Then the volume is normally what? The area of the what? The base times the what? The vertical height. Now let's move on to what? The pyramid. The pyramid always has what? A pointed end. Typical example of a pyramid is what? The cone. So if I should draw a cone in this manner, and I call here, that's the height. Here is what? The radius. I have the height and the slant height. It has 2 heights there. Now there's a little bit of difference between when you are getting the formula for what? The curved surface area, total surface area, and the volume. So you just have to be what? More careful. So if you are required to get the curved surface area of what? A pyramid, it's normally beginning with what? 1/2. Then perimeter of the base again, which is what? 2 pi r. Okay, sorry, 2 pi r times the slant height now. You have what? That's times what? L. Remember, in a pyramid, it's only when you're looking for the volume will you make use of the vertical height. If it's not volume, please don't make use of the vertical height. So I have this will cancel this thing. I have pi rl as a curved surface area. Then for the total surface area, it's normally given as what? The curved surface area plus area of the bottom, which is what? Let me write it A1. So the curved surface area is what? I have pi rl plus what? Pi r squared. Now what is common between them is what? The pi with what? L. I have what? L plus what? R as my answer in the factorized form. Now for the volume as well, you must always begin with what? 1/3 as long as it's what? Pyramid. Then you now have what? Area of the base times what? The height. So I have area of the base to be what? Pi r squared times what? The height. So I have what? Pi r squared h with what? 3 under. So that's the formula for the volume, the curved surface area, and that. So I will draw another pyramid which does not necessarily have what? Square under. Perhaps a little bit of this way, which I will still manage to draw. I have it in this manner. So in this manner, this is what a rectangular base pyramid. So here is my vertical height, which is the h. I have the slant height. I have the what? The radius of this. Now, if that is true, or it's not actually necessary, so let me label here to be what? The x. I have here to be what? Y. I have y and I have x. And I need to find the what? The formula for the what? The curved surface area, total surface area, and the volume of this particular what? Pyramid. So, like I said earlier, I will have, for the curved surface area, always begin with what? 1 over 2. Then perimeter of the base, which is what? X plus y times the slant height. I have L there. I have 1 over 2. This plus this, I have what? 2x plus what? 2y, which is what? L. Now, factorize the 2 out. I have 2 over 2. I have x plus what? Y with L. This will cancel. So I have what? X plus what? Y with what? L as a formula for the what? The curved surface area. Now, for the total surface area, it's normally what? The curved surface area you got here, which is what? I have x plus what? Y with what? L times, plus the what? The area of the base, which is what? X, Y. You end there. Then for the volume, it's normally what? The area of the base, which is given as what? X, Y times what? Okay, with 1 over 3 first, times the vertical height. So that is for that. So what I will simply do now is to what? Impute values in this figure and try to use this to find it. So now let's start our first example from what? The prism aspect. So I'll just draw a typical prism and analyze it so that we can actually get an idea of what I'm trying to say. So let's have the typical cylinder you already had in that manner. Let me use a more common figure. And here is what? The radius of the what? The cylinder in this manner. This here is what? 7 meters. I have the height of what? 10 meters. Then I am required to find the what? The curved surface area, total surface area, and the volume of this cylinder. Now the curved surface area of this figure will be given as what? Perimeter of the base, which is what? 2 pi. That's 2 times what? 22 over 7. Remember that pi at this level is given as 22 over 7. At advanced level, pi is always what? 180 degrees. So at this level, I take your pi to be what? 22 over 7. So the curved surface area will be what? The perimeter of the base, which is, let me write it first, 2 pi r times what? The height. So the perimeter will be given as what? 2 times 22 over 7 times the radius being what? 7 times the height. So this will take care of this. This times I have what? 44 times what? 10. So I have what? 440 with what? M squared. M squared, anything that has to do with area must carry what? Power 2. So we have found what? The curved surface area. Now for the total surface area, it's always given as what? The curved surface area we found here plus area of the top and bottom. That's to say that what? That's pi arrow squared plus another what? Pi arrow squared. So I have 440 plus the area here. Let me just say 2 pi arrow squared in that manner. That's addition of these two. So I have 440 plus 2 times what? 22 over what? 7 times 7 times 7. This will cancel this one. So I have, permit me to finish it here. So I will have 440 plus this times that should give me around 154. So adding 154 using the old-fashioned method to this manner, I will have 4 here, I have 9, I have 5. That's what? 594 meter squared for that part of it. Now I'm about to find the what? The volume. Now for the volume, if I'm required to find the volume, like I say, the volume will always be given us what? Area of the base, which is what? Pi arrow squared times the what? The height, which is h here. So area of the base is what? 22 over what? 7 times what? 7 times what? 7. Sorry, times the height being what? 10. You take care of this. So this times this. So I have 22 by what? 7. So using the old-fashioned method, this time this I have what? 14 carry 1. This is what? 14. I have what? 154. So I have 154 times what? 10. That's 1540 with meter cube as the answer to that question. So I think from this one that there was a mistake. This should be This times this, has 44 times this. I should have about what, 308. So it should be addition of what, 308, not 154. Sorry about that. So I have the 308 here. So add them again. This is what, 0. This is what, 4. This is what, 7. So I have 748. That is for what? The total surface area of that figure. Now let's solve another one under what? Pyramid. So we can actually what? Conclude this class. Now, for pyramid, if I should have, let's say I use a cone, a typical cone, you know, or should I not use a cone? Maybe I should not use a cone. Maybe I should just use a square or rectangular base pyramid. I have it here and I have it here. So let's say it's all around it. I have what? 1 meters, 1 meters, 1 meters, 1 meters. Yeah, let's say it's 10 again. Then let's say it's what? 5 meters. And I'm required to find what? The curved surface area of that figure. Now, for the curved surface area, like I said, you always begin with 1 over 2. Then 1 over 2 times the perimeter of the base multiplied by the slant height. So perimeter of the base was 1 plus what? 1 plus 1 plus another 1 multiplied by what? 5. 1 over 2 times, that should give me around 4 times what? 5. This take care is I have to 2 times 5. I have what? 10 meter squared as a curved surface area. Now for the total surface area as well, we're always giving us what? The curved surface area of the plus the area of the base, which is, let me write A1. So I have the curved surface area to be what? 10. Area of this base, 1 times 1, I have 1. I have what? 11 meter what? Squared. Now, for the last one, which is what? The volume. For the volume, always with what? 1 over 3 times area of the base, which is what? 1 times 1, which is 1 times 1. Then multiply by what? The vertical height, which is what? Times 10. So I have what? 10 over what? 3, which give me around 3.33 meter cube is a recurrent what? Decimal. So that is how to use it. Whether it's a square base, triangular base, just remember that for curved surface area, it's normally what? Perimeter of the base multiplied by the vertical height, that is for prism. Total surface area, curved surface area plus area of the top and that of the down. Then the volume, area of the base multiplied by the vertical height. Then when it's a pyramid, it's still the same thing. That's a perimeter of the base, but now multiplied by the slant height. But first, 1 over 2 must be there. Then for the total surface area, just add the curved surface area together with what? The area of the base. Then for the volume, always begin with what? 1 over 3. Then perimeter of the base times the vertical height. Thank you so much, and thanks for listening as well.